welcome to Christina's Craft Catch-Up episode 2. Now, in the past week I've done a lot of stuff. I went to Melbourne with my husband and I did a lot of crafting there. The first thing I made, as you can tell, is this lovely cardigan. Can you see that? I showed it to you last week in its unfinished state. So I did a lot of knitting in Melbourne and I ended up finishing it when I came home. This is the Marion cardigan by Andy Sutherland, and I'll provide a link to that in the description, as well as the link to my Ravelry page for this. This was done as a joint sort of project with my friend Violet, who also knitted one in red. Now, this came out a lot pinker than I expected, but I think I can pull it off. It's okay, isn't it? It's okay. I had to change the buttons. Originally I had smaller buttons, but the button band kept pulling open, and I still think I might have to stabilize this a bit with a little bit of ribbon. You can see what happens when I do it all up. It really wants to pull open, and you can see it there pulling. But anyhow, it's not too small for me, it's just the button band is a little bit unstable. So that's the first thing I made. And you'll also remember that I had plans to make another lady skater dress, and here it is. This worked out quite well. I wore this in Melbourne. I didn't make it in Melbourne, I didn't bring my sewing machine. But that's a really lightweight sort of nice dress to wear. And also, this is my new dress form. My brother got it for me for my birthday a couple weeks ago, and it's quite lovely. It's not a brand name one, I don't think, but it works well enough. She's a tiny bit bigger than me, just a tiny bit. So, like my woven clothes that are quite tight on me, they just don't do up on her. But since this is stretchy, this fits quite well. So I did make one other thing last week. You may remember I showed you this fabric and a pattern. I made this blouse. So it didn't turn out all that well. You might be able to see that there's quite a lot of gaping at the neck, and it's just not quite even or all that good. So that's okay though, it was only a practice, and I will wear it when it gets warm enough to wear something like this. At the moment it is really cold, so I will not be wearing this for a while anyway. Yeah. Now, on to things that I've got planned for the next week or two. First thing I want to do today is make some bath bombs, because I used up my last bath bomb last night. I found a really great recipe for bath bombs on rookie.com. I think that's like a teenage girl magazine online. But it's basically Epsom salts, baking soda, and citric acid. They're the three things that make the bath bomb. And then you add things like dye to make it a pretty colour and nice smelling bath oils. So I've got myself some vanilla bath oil, because I love the smell of vanilla. I've also got some freesia essential oils. Freesia is a lovely flower, it smells beautiful. It reminds me of my grandparents for some reason. And I usually use pink or blue food dye, and it turns out quite nice. The only thing I will tell you, my hot tip, is to add the food dye to the Epsom salts before you add that to the bicarb soda and the citric acid. Because if you put the drops of food colouring into the mixture when it's mixed, it will fizz up like a bath bomb, and you don't want that before you put it in the bath. So add it to the salt, and then it will be fine to put in the rest of the mixture. So that's my tip for bath bombs, and I might link to the recipe for that in the description bar as well. I'm going to do that today. I really like bath bombs. Now, in Melbourne I bought a bit of fabric. Only 4 bits. So the first thing I bought is this lovely wool coat fabric. This is Italian wool, and it's a lovely dark brown with slightly lighter brown spots in it. It feels really soft and lovely, and I hope to make a jacket or a coat out of that. I haven't found a pattern, so this is more of a long-term sort of project. I can't whip it up today, but it just feels beautiful. I'm really looking forward to that. I made a coat for my course last semester, my sewing course, and I still haven't gotten it back, and they also have the pattern, so maybe when I get it back I'll be able to wear it and see if I like that pattern, and then I'll be able to make another one maybe. If not, I'll buy a new pattern. That's the first thing I've got. The second fabric I bought is this nice stretchy jersey fabric. I don't know what it's made of. Wool maybe? Could have been wool. And it's got this pretty wave design in it. And it's quite stretchy that way. So I thought I'd make another lady skater dress with it. And that will be nice as well. And I just got some navy blue cotton, very sort of thin, you can kind of see through it, but I thought I'd try making some shirts out of this because I'm not good at shirts and I would like to own some shirts. I really love this shirt, but it's on its last legs. It's really wearing out and I just love it, but I can't find anything like it in the shop, so I want to see if I can make some shirts. And last thing I bought in Melbourne was just this regular striped jersey. It's cotton spandex, and that is going to be good for underpants, which you know I love. So yeah, that's what I bought in Melbourne. Now, on to knitting. So obviously I finished this and I've been at a loss the past few nights because I haven't had anything to knit, and it's like I don't know what to do when I don't have anything to knit. So I stayed up really late playing video games the other night, and that was kind of a mistake because then I couldn't sleep. So my next idea is to make this other pattern by Andy Sutherland because I love her stuff, which is a cropped sweater. And it's a very plain sweater. She's got it in 2 colours. It's sort of a purple on the top and then a dark blue on the bottom. Let's see, can you see that? I'll put a link so that you can see it properly. But it's just very plain. So I thought, well, I've got this yarn, this very bright blue kind of crazy yarn. I could use that, but also I've got some leftover bits from other projects, and it's all the same ply. So I thought I could make a colour work pattern of my own design. So I came up with this kind of thing, which is basic hearts and stripes and diamonds and things like that. But the nice thing about it is it'll use up some of this excess yarn. I don't know how well these two match, but perhaps I'll be able to figure something out. And I just made this pattern using Excel. I made it so all of the boxes were squares, and then I basically made an outline of the pattern using the directions on the pattern, and now I'm sort of colouring it in, which is really fun and easy. It's like an art project. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to share today. So I will see you next week for more of Christine's Craft Catch Up. Thanks. Bye.